create our own reality. And the degree to which we create it is 100%. It is absolute.
A truth that I heard that really blew my mind was that self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love. When we eat the cookie we're not supposed to, when we don't pay the bills on time, it's really because what we're seeking is a way to feel free from that anxiety. And we feel by sabotaging ourselves, and for a moment we actually do feel empowered. We feel like we're doing whatever we want. And so instead of criticizing our actions, we need to start getting curious as to why we might be doing it and why it's serving us in some way. And we come from that place of knowing self-sabotage is simply misguided self-love. We can become more understanding and see what's best for us and how we can make those shifts.
No amount of self-improvement can make up for any lack of self-acceptance.
I think when I really embraced that we're divine human beings, when I really let it sink in all the way, where I felt like everybody is on their way back to source and that this intelligence is real, I think that when I really embraced the understanding that God lives within us fully and understood it and started developing a relationship with that intelligence within us, I think the greatest realization was I was humbled.
I think the truth that I heard that blew my mind was that it's not about you. What do you mean it's not about me? Nobody's thought is actually about you. What anybody says isn't actually about you. It's more about themselves.
You know, I think we come in knowing this stuff, and I believe that our parents, not just our parents, I think our culture trains it out of us.
So I came across a very clear truth in an interesting way. I was told very, very clearly by a series of doctors that when I severed my hand, I would never be able to move my fingers again. And I kept on asking, and said, you will not, neurologically, this is damage beyond repair, you will not get any movement back. And this is important for me because I was an osteopath and a guitar player, and I really needed two hands, not just one hand. And I really looked at this and thought to myself, well, is that true? Is their truth true? And I decided that I would question that truth. And in the end, I discovered that they weren't correct, that I could move my fingers. It took some time. But for me, the truth that came out of that was something that I kind of already had a sense of, which is we are far more powerful than we could ever imagine.
When I was in the other realm, and when I realized that all I had to do was to know how powerful and amazing and magnificent I am, in fact we all are, but just to know that and to go back into my physical body with that knowledge would actually change the physical cells of my body. That just blew me. That really blew me. And then when I saw it actually happen, that was just the most incredible thing.
You know, we're at an I Can Do It conference now, and I was just listening to Michael Neal, a really great speaker, and he just said something that I know, and probably everyone else knows, but the way he presented it just knocked me back.
So something I'll sometimes do in a group is I'll have a blank piece of flip chart paper and I'll ask them what color it is.
He had a piece of white paper. He says, "What color is that?" And the audience says, "White."
White. And then I'll take a square of it and I'll say I got a blue marker and I'll color it in blue.
Then he took a blue pen and he made a blue square. He says, "What color is that paper now?" And everyone said,
"Blue." But it isn't. It's a white piece of paper with blue on it.
But we cover ourselves with brown crap, is what Michael said. And I've written something similar, and I've spoken about something similar, but when Michael described it in that way, it actually just blew me away.
And that's the great misunderstanding, is we think because we've got a lot of thoughts and a lot of experiences that it somehow has changed our essential nature. And nothing can change our essential nature. And unlike the blue on the flip chart, the kind of accumulated crud of a lifetime of thinking, it can fall away in a second. And what you're left with is what's always been there all along, which is the perfect, pure potential of a white piece of paper.